Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Today, a very high-powered show, and he's got the rundown.
What's the effect of the war on families left behind and on our legislature? We'll talk to Don Gibbons and find out. And exactly what's going on with gaming and all the taxes. We're going to talk to Harvey Whittemore and be brought up to date. Sam?
Thanks, Andy. And a high-powered pundit panel today as well. Jim Wadhams with the insurance industry. That should be interesting. Terry Hickman with the teachers. And Howard Rosenberg from the university. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week. And still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV parks.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of Firestone roofing products for any type of roof, from commercial to industrial and residential. With a Firestone roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
With the war continuing in Iraq, someone with a unique perspective is Assemblywoman Don Gibbons.
Good morning, Don. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
During the last war, 1991, you had to take Jim's place down at the legislature when your husband, now Congressman Jim Gibbons, was over fighting in Iraq. And you had 3 children. Mm-hmm. How did you handle the situation with your children? Were they afraid? Were they frightened about their father being gone?
Absolutely. The 2 oldest ones, Chris and Jennifer, they were in school. One was in middle school and one was still in grade school. And on the weekends was when they would have their meltdown. And we just timed it where Jim would call on Saturday, or he would try to call at least, and talk to the kids. And it sort of got us back up for the next week.
How did you feel about the media coverage? And as you look at the media coverage now, where there's even more of it, how does that make you feel?
The media coverage actually scared me more because I would see something on TV and know that someone had been hurt or injured, or there was a missile that was from the enemy that came out, and Patriot didn't catch it, and I would immediately call around to the guard and see if it was any of the Nevada boys. So it was very disturbing. I tried not to watch the media as much. Of course, you heard it because my mother was glued to the TV, and she actually moved in with us to help me with the kids.
Well, that brings up something else. If we know people who have loved ones over fighting in Iraq right now, what's the best kind of support that we can give to them? What was it you felt you needed from people at that time?
I needed just good friends, and I'll tell you, Jim's brothers were very helpful. A lot of things broke down at the house when Jim was gone, and I wasn't there to repair things. One time my pipes freeze, and the whole house was, the legislature was going. I had these kids in the home, and there was no heat. So they would come over and look after the house and take care of things, and I needed that kind of help. There were some neighbors that came over and just brought some groceries and helped out.
And that helped also?
Yeah.
What was it like? And it's not only been your circumstance, but there have been other circumstances nationally in Congress and in the Senate where a spouse has had to take over the other spouse's role. Were you prepared for that? Were you ready to jump in? How much homework did you have to do? Were you taken advantage of in any way? How did that work?
Oh, that was the most difficult time in my life. I was not prepared for it. When I turned in Jim's resignation, there were 50 reporters sitting in Governor Miller's office ready to pounce at me, and I just said, no. And I had to do the interview, of course, because it was news. And when I got back in the car, I was going home from Carson to Reno. I turned on the radio, and the war had just started, and we knew that our Nevada guys were the RF-4s, and they were going in first. And I could hear it all going on, and I was crying all the way to my house. And of course, when I got to my house, all 3 TV stations were sitting there. And I just wanted time alone, and it was very difficult. I was baptized by fire.
Are things different at the legislature with the war on?
We're all a little bit more solemn, and I think, heavy-hearted. Because we have troops over there. Nevada has such a large military population that we have people from all over the state serving our country. And, we all have someone we know that we're concerned with. And most of us are wearing the Support Our Troops ribbons and American flags.
But the basic work goes on.
The basic work goes on.
You had a bill that you withdrew recently. That was a bill to close down information in the assessor's office?
Yes, and of course, the bill didn't really come out the way I thought it would come out, and it really was a bad bill. And my constituent who offered it to me was out of town, and I wasn't able to discuss it with him, and we had one day to get the bill in, so I went ahead and submitted it, and it's not a very good bill for public servants
and you've withdrawn it
open
now?
Government. Yes, I did withdraw it.
Okay, I got the last question for you here. John Ralston made some very pointed comments about what you had been doing at the legislature with trying to promote your husband's perhaps future campaigns. You don't quite agree with his comments, do you?
No, it's funny. John has never spoken to me about Jim or even asked a comment from me. I'm usually surprised when I read something in one of his little articles that I've said or done, and I don't know where he's getting this information, but it's incorrect.
So you're not conducting a whispering campaign on your husband's behalf?
No, my husband is too busy with this war, and his background is really good, and he enjoys serving the people of District 2 in Nevada, and I don't think he has any idea of looking at campaigning for anything right now.
We shall see. We'll be back on Nevada Newsmakers. Thank you, Don Gibbons, right after this timeout.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. 7 award-winning dining choices. Experience the Atlantis Seafood Steakhouse tonight. Winner of Wine Spectator's Award of Excellence. The local's choice for food and fun, Atlantis.
Atlantis.
At Sushi Club, everybody's family. That's what makes dining here so much fun. The sushi is consistently better, the atmosphere is great, and the service is wonderful.
Welcome to the bigger and better Sushi Club. Come in for our delicious daily specials.
When you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Walk into the Cactus Creek Bar and Grill at the Bonanza Casino, and you know you're in for a very special evening. Enjoy the southwestern atmosphere of some of the best gourmet food in Reno. It starts right here with Chef Bruce Norman and his talented staff. From buffalo T-bone to martini scampi and peppercorn duck. There's fine wine, specialty margaritas, and our pastry chefs create award-winning desserts. The Cactus Creek in the Bonanza Casino, 1 mile north of the university, where locals come to play.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Harvey Whittemore is the managing partner with Lionel Sawyer & Collins, one of the most prominent lobbyists in the state and a regular guest on this program. Welcome, Harvey.
Thanks, Sam. Harvey, thank you for being here. Great. I want to start with you. You're doing some lobbying for Washoe County this session, and Senator Raggio has introduced a bill to take some of the local funds, so the property tax, and redistribute it to the state.
Ande, it's no surprise that Senator Raggio is very concerned about the funding mechanism to appropriately fund state programs, and he's thrown out an idea that increased revenue associated with growth on the property tax level should be split. I can assure you that because of Senator Raggio's position, there are going to be some very interesting discussions about the bill. I think that what he's basically saying that this is an idea that has merit, that needs to be part of the package to be discussed. And obviously, you know, we're going to work with him from a Washoe County perspective to take a look at it. I know that Senator Raggio is aware, as many people are, about the very serious nature that Washoe County finds itself in terms of its funding. And I know that there are those who are watching almost on a daily basis the reports about the levels of cuts that the commissioners, as well as County Manager Katie Singlob, is having to look at. And obviously it's impacting everything. The courts. Judge Jim Hardesty is very, very vocal and very outspoken about the needs for additional dollars in the court system. And all of those things are impacted by cuts from dollars that wouldn't be received from property tax.
So are we talking about a property tax hike ultimately?
I think property tax component will be part of a legislative fix. I think you see it in almost all of the proposals. Governor Gwynn's proposal, the quote chamber proposal, I think that you see it in the task force proposal, and I think that you see that, again, Senator Raggio, Majority Leader, has an interest in this. Senator Townsend had a plan. Rich Perkins, the Speaker, has a plan. So with that many people talking about needing some more stable sources of revenue, and with the needs of the university system and K through 12 in this state, you're going to be guaranteed that it's going to be part of the package.
Okay, if you were a regular viewer of this program, and I know you are, you would know that as far as the gross receipts tax, it seems to be on life support. But I get a feeling that isn't your opinion.
It's not. I think those that suggest that it's on life support have suggested that it's in a hospital that's non-existent. Everybody is aware that it's going to be a part of a package, that a stable source of revenue. One of those ideas is the gross receipts tax. Do I believe that it's going to be in the package at the end of the day? The answer is yes. Those that are suggesting that it's on life support, I think they're engaging in a little bit of wishful thinking, because every other program that they've looked at, there are reasons why they were discounted and rejected for a variety of reasons. You take a look at sales tax on services. There are good things about it. Will that be part of the package? Potentially. Do you take a look at the business activity tax? Are there going to be adjustments to it? Yes. The amusement tax, if you want a tax that's on life support, it might be the amusement tax, because I can guarantee you that the public isn't going to sit there and say that we're going to fund it when business doesn't. Remember what this argument is about. It's about those who have the capacity to pay and who don't want to pay to fund K through 12 or the university college system. They're going to sit there and say, well, this is a better tax. Well, what they're saying is it's a better tax is it shifts my obligation to someone else. That's the definition in legislative, in truthful terms, as to why there's a disagreement over what the tax policy should be. It's always better if someone else pays.
Okay, your vote for best PR campaign, the movie theater owners?
So far, clearly, Andy.
Harvey, how are you going to get lawmakers to vote for this? They're scared to death because they're afraid their opponents will use it against them in their next election.
I don't think, as a political matter, I think that those legislators were sent up to do a job, and I believe that each and every one of them are here to do their job. Why come to this process and simply your first time, let's say you're a freshman legislator, and do the wrong thing? If you're a freshman legislator and you want to do the right thing, you do the right thing. Those legislative veterans are going to sit there and say at the end of the day, what's the fairest package? They're going to look at everything, combine things together. I think gross receipts will be part of it. I think sales tax on services may have a component. Again, I believe business activity tax. I believe property tax. You're going to see each of those things.
And gaming?
Clearly. Absolutely no doubt.
And
as long as, again, there's gross receipts component, I don't think that there's, excuse me for interrupting, I don't think that gaming's going to sit there and say we ought to increase our gaming tax without some sort of broad-based business tax.
Okay, last question for you here. And because you're not involved in this, you've got about 30 seconds. Med-mal, construction defects, your thoughts?
I'll tell you right now, you've got a huge legislative battle between 2 or 3 very powerful interest groups. You've got the doctors, the insurance companies, and the trial lawyers. You've got 2 very powerful chairmen of 2 different committees on the Senate side, Senator Townsend, Mark Ande. On the Assembly side, you've got Barbara Buckley, Rich Perkins, Bernie Anderson. This is one of those Donnybrooks that I get to stay out of, and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Okay, one thing you're not going to get to stay out of today is the pundit panel.
I'll
Stick
be happy to
around.
stay.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Take a break and treat the family to breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Tamarack Junction. Enjoy pasta night on Wednesdays, Mexican on Thursdays, and seafood on Fridays. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of elk roofing products for any type of residential roof. With an elk roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
We've loosened our machines. We've given you the Gold Dust West Gold Rush Club, Reno's best slot club. You can win lots of jackpots. Play longer. Your points will add up faster than you think. Yeah, we're loose and we're not screwing around. See you at the Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV parks.
At Tamarack Junction, you can take advantage of fabulous food around the clock. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, give the oven and yourself a rest. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, folks, you better get glued to your TV set for the next 7 minutes because it's going to be hot. Let's introduce our pundit panel today. Jim Wadhams, who is an attorney and lobbyist and involved in the insurance industry, so we have a lot to talk about with him. Howard Rosenberg, a regent at Rosenberg, regent at the university system, and Terry Hickman, president of the State Education Association, and Harvey Whittemore joins us. Okay, Howard, I'm going to start out with you on this one.
Goody.
Interesting report in today's Gazette Journal about the downgrade of both the Silver Legacy and Eldorado junk bond stocks from a buy to a hold. What does that mean for our system here?
I wouldn't think that it would be good at all, but I don't really know.
I think obviously when you have a major analyst suggest that the city of Reno is going through problems, it portends that the competitive environment is very difficult. That's all that it's basically saying is what everybody knows, and that is it's going to be tough. What it really is it's going to be an indication that there's going to be something needs to be done with respect to fixing the system's over-reliance on gaming.
And also, what does it say about the fundamentals of getting financing for new casinos?
I just as a business person, I can tell you this. If you've got to borrow money at high interest rates, it means that you're going to be subjected to the vagaries of up and down in terms of you've got customers, you don't have it, and it means that you're not going to have the capacity to reinvest, and it's going to be very, very difficult for those companies that are borrowing at high rates to reinvest.
Okay. Sam, there's another part here. It's the diversification part that makes education so desperately important, because it's the only way we're going to attract other than gaming to the state. I don't want to see anybody hurt. Good Lord knows we don't want that. By the same token, there have got to be other options for our students.
All right, go ahead.
There's clearly also a dilution of the gaming monopoly. Nevada used to have the monopoly, and that has spread across the country. It's spread over our borders into with the Indian tribes in California.
But Nevada companies still have a monopoly. I mean, they are the ones that are spreading across the country.
They very well may, but that doesn't. I mean, that does tend to dilute the activity that's here in the state, which generates the revenues.
All right.
Which brings us into public education, which is so closely tied to gaming. And as the revenue from gaming decreases, where does public education go for funding? Because we're having more students come, not less.
And I think what you're really saying is the environment right for some change in the tax system to solve problems with respect to K through 12 and the university system? The answer is absolutely yes. Let's put it in real terms that people can understand. Nevada is in second worst shape as a percentage of the deficit to the total revenue. Only Alaska is worse. We've said it before. If you take a look at California being at a $35 billion deficit number, Nevada is worse, even though the deficit, the real dollars necessary just to fund at the K through 12 level and the university system, to bring that up, you're talking about, and then the governor has done a great job, at $750 to $800 million. Those numbers aren't going to go down.
Is anybody on the panel here against the gross receipts tax? Last chance.
I'm not sure that that's really the question.
But that's what Harvey's talking about here.
There are, and as he said in the earlier segment, there are more methods for raising broad-based business tax than the gross receipts. And I think the question that you ask him, is it on life support, may be a bit premature, as Harvey answered. However, there will be serious consideration of other variations of broad-based business tax. That doesn't mean that gross receipts won't pass, but it does mean that the legislature is considering alternatives to broadly spread the burden across business.
Let me tell you, if gross receipts is on life support, then K through 12 is on life support, and the college system is life support. And if you do not do something that the governor has suggested needs to be done, this is a person who has stood up. There was no compelling reason for him to do that, except he knew it was the right thing.
But we've had one after the other of business people and business groups coming on the program saying this is not the way to go.
It's not the way to go because it's in their pocket.
Fine, and do they have a suggestion how to go?
Well, they have other suggestions of how to go.
Won't we look at all of those suggestions?
We certainly hope so. I want to change subjects here. Jim Wadhams, we got you here, and we really appreciate you coming back. Second appearance on the program. The insurance industry has been very quiet with the battle going on with med-mal and construction defects. I'm curious to get your take on things. It seems like you're just sitting back saying, okay, lawyers, doctors, fight it out, and we'll still be here charging our premiums at the end of the day.
You know, I look forward to answering that question. Unfortunately, we only have something less than 7 minutes for me to be on the hot spot, but the simple answer to your question is the insurance industry is a collection of business people who try to make a profit doing what they do. I remember when I lived in northern Nevada, there was a Menards and an R-Reno Brothers downtown on Virginia Street. They're no longer there because they couldn't make money in that location. When medical malpractice insurers stop doing business in Nevada, it's for the same reason. They can't make money here. So they are not just sitting back smiling and waiting for things to change. They're literally gone. They have left the state, they cannot make money, and they may come back if things do change. But that's true for the residential construction liability insurance companies and for the medical malpractice. The two companies that exist, one was formed by the governor and the other was formed by a group of doctors. They have about 35% of all the doctors in the state trying to solve their own problem. The insurance companies literally have left for other places to make money.
Okay, I want Ande Engleman in on this. Can you get a shot of Ande here real quick? There we go, and just throw her into the mix. I know she's got a thought on this.
Well, you know, what he's saying is what insurance companies have been saying all along, but I think the legislature has something else in mind. I think they plan on making insurance companies pay one way or another for pulling out on doctors and for pulling out on homeowners.
You think this is going to happen, Harvey?
I think that when you suggest that the insurance company has been active, that's more a compliment to Jim. He does his work very craftily, very stealthily, but I can guarantee you right now.
Right?
Those are compliments for being a lobbyist. Look at him. He's a big guy, but he's very crafty. The bottom line is there are going to be huge debates. This is going to be an issue. What I want to leave this with is we've got to take care of the two gentlemen in between us. You've got to take care of the college kids. You've got to take care of the K through 12. And the only way you're going to do it is you have to do it.
You're watching the guy winding up the queue here, and you're on message. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers.
They call that on task in education.
If you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club. Year after year, voted the best place for sushi. 11 chefs on staff to serve you. Better ingredients for consistent high quality. And lots of room, so bring your friends. Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Feel it, the magic is everywhere. The action, the style, the food, the flair. Play with us, stay with us. In Reno, say El Dorado. And live the excitement. El Dorado. Reno, shining star. Live the excitement.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, consistently voted Reno's best buffet by locals. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch.
Atlantis.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
So what message did you get from that?
Well, I think Harvey gave a great lesson to all future political candidates to do exactly what he and the Bush administration does, which is stay on message throughout the show.
And we'll see if the governor can do that tomorrow when we talk to him. Let us know if you have questions you want to ask.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.